What's going on, y'all? We're going to be talking about televisions, specifically CRTs. Y'all saw the thumbnail. But before that, this is the PlayStation 3D display, which why not? Let's go right to the cookies and cream. These JBL model 4312 Mark II compact monitors. Beautiful monitor. Anyhow, yeah, let's talk about these TVs. Now with this 3D PlayStation display, for my retro games, I've been using this ODV GBSC like upscaler, and it does a fairly good job. I'm not going to be breaking the bank on like a RetroTink 4K, mainly because, you know, importing one to Japan is going to get way crazy expensive. Let me go ahead and make some adjustments to the camera here. Now the big issue with this TV, one of the big issues, is that it's like a freaking mirror. Look at that. Freaking mirror, man. But check out what I've done. Now guys, this is just a straight up game rant. I'm just going to release the video as is. But we're talking about televisions here, and I just want to show you this custom mount that I made. Now there's height adjustment to this mount, or whatever you want to call it. And so yeah, like this mount, all custom made. Freaking went up to the Kinds and bought all the materials. And it's so that I can go into vertical mode, or, you know, just into the standard horizontal mode. But, you know, when I'm playing Raiden, Gunbird, all those freaking classic games, Batsugan on the Saturn, I got to go into my vertical mode to make things right. But that is one option for playing retro games. And let's just get like this rant, little dialogue going. I'm probably not even going to do any editing here, just release it as is. I'm going to give you guys the full truth this time. But yeah, what do you guys think? Gaming on a CRT or an LCD, does it matter? Does it make a difference other than like aesthetics? But let's go ahead and check out the real prize of today's, what this video is all about today. Which is right here, y'all. It wasn't freaking the succubus, Morgan. But this little CRT TV, now this is a National. Check out the model number right here. It's a TH8-V9V. Now National was a part of the Matsushita conglomerate. They have since changed their name, and now it's known as Panasonic. And I believe they also own Technics, which is an amazing audio brand. And this TV, like the color scheme, it matches like my little, my Megatrons here, which is part of the reason why I have it. With this one being, this little cheapy one, I got this at a book off in Tachikawa. It was like 100 and some yen. It's a 2002 Takura vintage. Anyhow, I'm gonna be rambling. You all know how it goes in these kinds of videos. Then we got old Alexander Jar. But anyhow, the TV, let's focus here, man. Now, it's like a 9-incher. It has like this protective lens to it, which, you know, this can be removed, but I leave it on. I also had the TV on some risers just to let it breathe a little bit. But here, next to the Panacolor logo, we have the, this is a mono audio out plug. This will toggle between RF and composite sources. Here we have our little tuner display, and then you can toggle between VHF, UHF with the little tuner dial here. But check this out. Check this out. Let me move old Megatron out of the way. I'm going to put him up top. Look at the vintage of this bad boy. 1981, y'all. And this was manufactured sometime between January or sometime between January and June. I mean, what the heck were you guys doing back then? I wasn't even born. But check this out too. We're gonna give you the full tour here. Let me just turn on the light. Turn on my phone light. That's how we do Hollywood production, man. But we got our little adjustment knobs. Now this one controls color intensity, tint, contrast, brightness, and this is like a little fine-tune adjustment. Beautiful antenna here that's probably never gonna get used. And then in the back, this is where things get interesting. Now this plug right here, now that's going to be the RF out. So you have to use a 3.5 millimeter jack. And then from there, you know, it goes to what you are normally expecting to see. And then at the moment, that's just going into the old Famicom. Now below that we have our composite input, and then there's one for audio, but I'm not gonna be using the TV audio so much because I have like the little sound system which we'll go over. And it also has a composite output. Below the composite output, I'm not really sure what kind of connection that is, but it's some kind of like audio type of connection. But the cool thing is like all the service menu options are actual knobs back here. You know, I have like I cut a chopstick. I cut a chopstick so that I can make adjustments because, you know, there's like a little turny screw there that will adjust. Now this is like the gain and the cutback for red and blue, which I did have to adjust because the image was initially coming green when I was testing it at the hard op junk section. But it's pretty cool that all the service options are not actual, you know, menus. They're actually just straight up like freaking knobs. Now here, this one adjusts like the brightness. You could also adjust the focus. And there's even some, which you see right here. Now these will adjust the geometry on the television. But really cool that all that's, you know, that all that's there. And then here's like the freaking handle. When I saw it at hard off, which I paid 5,500 yen, I picked that bad boy up by the handle, and directly to the testing station we went. And then I picked it up, and the rest is history. Let me go ahead and put old Megatron back in his place. But yeah, what do you guys think? The freaking TV. Now I'm definitely gonna show you guys how it looks more or less. Now keep in mind that, you know, I'm recording at a different frame rate. The color and, you know, the accuracy and everything is not always going to come through in the video. But anyhow, before we give like the sampling, what else can I tell you about this TV? Oh yeah, this, I don't know if I said that, but that's like the toggle switch between the input sources. I guess we could just go over, like, look at this little retro setup that I have, which has been evolving. Before I had an EDTV 4x3 television. Typically, I'm only going to have one machine set up at this station, but for the sake of the video, I got the old freaking Sega Mega Drive 2, as well as the Famicom, and check out the Power Arcade Stick, which I also picked up in the junk section. Check this out. Micro switches, y'all. This is a great stick, and I've been playing old Elemental Master with it, which I'm getting close to beating it. And look at the bottom. Super clean other than this, but you know, stuff, when you see stuff like that, that little goop, just get some alcohol, it'll clean right up. And I'm not talking like spirits. But anyhow, top shelf. This is where I store my Neo Geo. Below that, I store like the Neo Geo Pocket Color. I gotta get rid of Arthur here. I gotta put like an SNK character as well as Guile. But then we got like the JVC wood cone speakers. Below that, I got some Neo Geo games with Firebrand. We got old Bato from Ghost in the Shell. Got the little book off marquee sign, which actually does light up. You just need to put some like small like 2032 batteries, something like that. And then I got some more Neo Geo games, blah, blah, blah. And then this is pretty much like a, I laugh because this is pretty much like a freaking hard off lo-fi hi-fi setup. I pretty much bought everything at a hard off, including this active subwoofer, which does have RCA connections, and it's perfect for this little setup because it gives more of that oomph when I'm slaying foes or when I freaking die. Sometimes the sound when the ship blows up, like when playing Thunder Force, it's a spectacle even. And I put like these little clips just to kind of help with cable management. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at cable management. Let me get the old Hollywood lighting again. As you can see here, now I need to like cut some of these cables. I need to splice them so that they're, you know, according to length. I like having short cables. I don't really like having too much slack. And I don't really mind doing this because a lot of this stuff is just, you know, like piled high at the hard op junk sections. So it's an easy thing to get replacements. But I got the power strip. I got everything rolled up. Now this could create interference with like the signals, and that's why I kind of want to just cut it back and fix that. And then, you know, I have like these little clips, and as you can see, everything is there to just kind of have like the floor clean, at least cleaner. Freaking cables, man. When you're when you're hardcore into this stuff, cable management can be a nightmare, but that's just how I roll with that. Anyhow, let's go ahead and turn on this bad boy. Again, what you're gonna see on screen, I'll try to replicate with what I'm actually seeing here, but it might be a little bit hard. Now, I'm gonna toggle, check that out. We got the static snow. Now this is like the little volume slider. Let's go ahead and turn on this bad boy. Check it out, man. I also have the AV Famicom, but this Famicom has better audio balancing for this particular game as well as a few others. I think Gimmick being another one. But let me go ahead and make adjustments to the image here. I gotta make it dark so you guys can kind of see what I'm seeing. 1981, 1989, we're going back in time, y'all. Let me go ahead and hit start. We'll go to the opening. And check this out, you don't even need to put anything, a name. But there it is. There she blows. What do you guys think? A fun little TV. Very nostalgic. And I'm currently playing through this game. I've never beat it. I picked up this game in Soka. As a matter of fact, I featured it in a In the Hunt episode. And finally getting around to playing it. I also have this in the Switch collection, but I want to do it in the old way. Not that it really matters, but that's the RF connection. Let me go ahead and switch. I went into component mode. Now we're gonna do like the old Sega here. Let me go ahead and make another adjustment to the lighting so y'all can see. Here we got the old Sega Mega Drive 2. I'm gonna turn on the powered subwoofer here, which has like a little EQ display. Now, this is like a cheap, generic, no-name brand, like a multimedia active powered subwoofer. And the little meters there, they don't dance as much as I would like to. It's more for show, but at least it's there. And we have old Darwin here. Darwin 4081, I believe. A game made by, lower this down. This little system actually bumps. But made by Data East for arcades originally. Let's go ahead and adjust the audio again. Or the brightness, the gain. Kind of an interesting, quirky game. I'm not sure if it was re-released as a part of the Hamster Arcade archives, but I was at the kooky hard off and I saw the game. It was 20 bucks complete, pretty pristine. So I was like, why not? It's not gonna hurt the wallet. But yeah, man, like with this TV, and everything from 8-bit all the way up to the 6th generation is what's going to be played on here. But not exclusively, because as you saw at the beginning of the video, I do have that upscaler, and sometimes you want to go a little bit bigger. Which, speaking of bigger, this originally had my projector, but I made changes to the game room because I'm kind of selling off of quite a few things. Also getting new things, as you see here, but kind of just reclaiming my space. Taking control of that space. But anyhow, let me go ahead and fix there we go. But what do you guys think? Is CRT gaming important for you as a collector? You know, is like input, a delay, is that a thing? I haven't really experienced it too much, but there is a few games that I have, but overall I would say that I've been pretty lucky with that respect. But I absolutely love having this TV, man. Originally, I had a PVM when I first arrived in Japan. I got it for free. It was like an ad. It was a website that was similar to Craigslist, but I went to go pick it up, and then that one failed me. And then a little bit shortly after that, I ended up getting a Sony Trinitron. It was like a 24-inch, and it was the line that included the multimedia connection, so you could do a direct RGB connection between PS1, PS2, and the television. But that one didn't even last a week, which was a major bummer. But now we have this one. We'll see how long it lasts. I did actually make a lot of corrections to this. I don't know if I mentioned that. This is just a rant. But I popped it open. because the image was a little bit canted, and I adjusted the yoke, which you want to be careful, you know, when you're messing around with these TVs. You know, it's freaking high voltage. There could be a serious injury. But, you know, I went in there, I adjusted the yoke. I had like the whole grid display thing, and it's been corrected. I adjusted the colors. A lot of these colors were coming up straight up green. But I can't believe this TV, 1981. Really happy about this one. But anyhow, what kind of CRT TV do you guys have? Is it important for, you know, for you as a retro gamer? And I guess just a quick update. I'm going to be on a work assignment, so I'm going to be in Chiba for about a week. So expect a couple In the Hunt videos from the stores out in the Chiba area. Now, I'm going to be focusing a lot on the hard offs out there. Now, I know, you know, some people are going to like the toy stores, the thrift stores, but specifically with what I'm after, those places, I do hit them up, but I often don't feature them on the channel just because they don't really have too much of what I'm after, or any video games, if that. Sometimes it's just like PlayStation 3 and a handful of Famicom games. But anyhow, expect some stuff coming out of Chiba very, very soon, and more game rants probably coming out of the hotel because I'm going to be out there for like a whole week. But more videos are on the way. Stay tuned. Retro Rewire, JJ here. Leave some comments with whatever. And until then, I shall see you very, very soon. Ciao.